Hey, it's been a while, Ames. Hello. Can you hear me? Just a little bit of check. A check. Mic check. Because it's been a while since I streamed. Hello, everyone. So, I went to an event today. I've been trying to go every weekend for three weeks in a row now, and just doing what I can, supporting the ongoing protests to, put pressure on companies and raise awareness about what's really going on in Gaza right now. Yeah, I mean, there's really so much an individual could do, and from each according to their ability to each according to their needs. So I just do what I can within my sphere of influence to kind of like put visibility on it, and also humanize the situation, because it's just for I guess for a bunch of people it's just another quote unquote conflict in the Middle East, and there's always been a conflict in the Middle East ever since. But this time it's really it's not a conflict. It's more of like, because when you say a conflict, there's a war ongoing, and you would think that there's like an equal side of like force, right? Like an equal firepower, or a equal at the very least of equal footing of both. Just trying to have that kind of like conflict, right? But what's been happening is really not, it's more of a one-sided thing. And as of now, the death toll since October has risen until like 30,000. So I know like there are casualties on both sides, but there are more civilian casualties on the thousands, hundreds of now it's like 30,000. So mostly civilians. And if y'all don't know, 50% of the population of Gaza are children. So you can't just say like, oh yeah, they're Hamas. The fuck are you talking about? Like any idiot would be like, I don't know if you're just willfully ignorant, or just a fucking idiot. If you would just like, oh, because Hamas. No. Yes, they're pretty sure there is Hamas presence, but are you really sure that you're going to sacrifice 16,000 kids just to find and also like it doesn't make any sense, because Israel has like the fourth strongest military in the world, and even then, like, you couldn't find Hamas with your, like, they have the latest spyware invented for military use, right? And you couldn't pinpoint Hamas. And why is it that there are more civilian casualties than actual Hamas, right? Like, sure, yes, that is valid. You want to find Hamas, sure, find them, but not at the expense of the deaths of children. Like, that is insane to me. It's fucking crazy. And also, thank you so much for everyone who's donating to the cause. I put a fundraiser there so that you guys can donate. I'm gonna be doing this indefinitely. Because until at the very least, until there's an actual ceasefire, and also like right now they're blockading aid. So I don't understand how they paint themselves as the victim when they have sole control, when they can just on a whim cut off the water in Gaza, cut off electricity in Gaza, have checkpoints from every exit and entrance in Gaza. Call it as it is. Call it for what it is. It's a concentration camp. It's a concentration camp. And they're somehow the victims. I understand how they came up with that kind of conclusions. And right now, like, a lot of people do not want to talk about it, especially in the scene that I'm in. And that's fine. But let me talk my shit, If you don't want to listen to what I want to talk about, then don't. Leave the stream, don't support my music, whatever. But this is my platform, and I'm going to use every single social media account that I have to raise awareness, to direct people on the kind of organizations that actually help Palestinians, especially the children. Because what the fuck, man? Why are we killing kids? Like, it's really not that complicated. How about you don't kill children? How about you don't bombard civilian settlements, right? It's really not that hard to be, a decent person, right? Like, even if, like, you're like, oh, fuck Hamas. Yes, fuck Hamas, Fuck that. I don't care. I care about the children. It's not about politics anymore. It's about having empathy towards another human being. Because right now, a lot of them they have two choices. It's either they die from starvation or they die from bombardments. And recently, like, I saw fuck me. Like, I saw an like on my feed, right? Like, a man was zip tied, right? A man was a Palestinian man, or a person, I don't know, like, they were zip tied and then ran over by a military bulldozer. How is that? How are they still saying that they're they are the victims here? How do you do that? Like, how do you do that to another person? I wouldn't wish that even to my worst enemies. And somehow, like, they're like, oh, okay, they and then people would be like, oh yeah, they deserve it because Hamas. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand how like all of these war crimes, these atrocities that's happening right now, is like, oh, because they have it's okay, they're dying because, like, they're gonna grow up as future terrorists. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Really? Like, what? This is what they do. This is what when colonizers start, implementing their genocidal projects, they will always remember that they will always dehumanize the people that they're trying to eliminate, that the people that they're trying to ethnically cleanse. They want you to see them as animals, as savages, people who do not deserve any rights, so that it will be easier for you to accept that, okay, like, I mean, they're gonna grow up as terrorists anyway, so, good riddance. But, that's what they want you to believe. That's what they want you to think. That's the narrative that they want you to accept. That it's okay to kill a Palestinian child because, anyway, they're animals. They don't have manners. They're uneducated. Why do you think they're uneducated in the first place? Their schools have been bombed to oblivion. They don't have enough hospitals anymore. They don't have anything. So what is going on here? Like, to me, like, I've been since the incident in Rafah, I've been depressed, imps. I don't wanna see. I'm so tired of seeing images of dead children. Like, I don't want to look at my feed anymore. Like, I just know that I don't want that to happen to any child. But right now, they're escalating. They're escalating the what do you call this? The executions, right? So they're killing 139 children every day. The ballpark is around that. The hundreds of children are getting killed every day. Like I said, either from starvation, from malnutrition, from because of the block for they're blockading the aid, or they just get bombed. Like, man, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear about it, but it's something that I have to kind of like process so that I can what do you call this? I'm sorry, Ims. I've been talking to the people that I've met at the protests, and some of them are from Gaza, and some of them can't don't know if their families are alive, because they have no way of knowing, because everything was cut off, right? It's intensifying now. Like, since October, everything has been drastically intensified, and people are trying to find ways to get their families out. As much as they don't want to leave because they are indigenous there. Would you want to leave your homeland because some colonizers told you to do so? No, right? Like, if you could stay, you would want to. But that's what's going on right now. Yeah, it's been random. Like, I don't know, like, random times of the day, I just break down and cry, remembering, like, the stories that people have told me, that I have, listened to, joining the protests. A lot of Gazans have shared their stories at the protests. Also, the people that I just meet, on the ground. It's very, I can't believe the level of inhumanity that's been done to a group of people because of some sort of, like, I don't know, because they're being seen as second class citizens or as animals by another group of people. So it's really, yeah, it's hard to process. I've been having such a hard time recording. When I start to record, I just don't want to. I want to be out there, I want to help out. I want to just, because I have all the privilege in the world. I live comfortably. I have access to everything that could make my life comfortable. I have my family with me. I have everything. So the least that I could do, that's the bare minimum that I could do, is actually use my privilege to give visibility, at the very least, on my own platform. So if you don't like that, if you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck about your political opinions or whatever, I'm just here to for your music, okay, fine, but don't say that. Like, why the fuck would you say? Just move on. How callous could you be to just, like, I don't give a fuck about children in Gaza because they're Muslims. Some people were like, oh, I got hate comments on Instagram like, oh, somebody comparing me to, like, fucking Phil Anselmo, and I'm like, are you serious? And it's like, oh, he was like, oh, yeah, like, I would compare you to, like, Phil Anselmo because you're, like, good musicians but, like, actually shitty people. I'm like, yo, my brother, I do not support white supremacy. I support people who are being dispossessed. Like, I support people whose land has been occupied for 75 years. Like, I don't really, like, I don't, at this point, like, you could argue whatever pro-Israel IDF fight stuff that you can have. Sure, okay, go ahead. But don't do that on my channel, because I'm not gonna stay neutral in the face of oppression. If you don't like that, fuck off, you know. And someone told me, like, you know, like, continuing to that comment, so he was like, oh, imagine supporting Muslims in 2024. I'm like, imagine hating Muslims in 2024. Like, is that really the narrative that you're going for? At the end of the day, you're just fucking Islamophobic. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, fucking blocked. But, like, those are the kinds of comments that I'm getting. Like, you know, they're just so mad that I'm supporting Muslims. What the fuck are you? I'm supporting human beings. It's not about religion. It's not about, you know, it's not about that. I'm supporting people who have been stripped off of their rights in their own land. You know what I mean? Like, there are, like, okay, there are Christian Palestinians, there are atheist Palestinians, there are queer Palestinians. Bold of you to assume that there are no queer Palestinians. I have met a lot of queer Palestinians in the fucking, you know, in the protests. If you look at the banners there are LGBTQ people within that movement, right? So it's just like, those arguments do not fly, you know? So it's just like, yo, y'all, a lot of people are just so internet brain rotted that they forgot to turn on their empathy. Like, it's just like, you know, to them it's just like something that they could consume on the internet, or something that they could interact with on the internet. But we're talking about people. So, I don't know, like, it's really not complicated to not commit genocide, you know? I don't understand why people want to, like, paint Israel as the victim, or they want to paint themselves as the victim, and that the Palestinians have to move out of their own, the land that they're indigenous to, that they're like, oh, let's just go to Egypt. What the fuck? How about you go to Egypt? What the hell? You know? So they're doing everything they can right now to blockade everything. So I don't, like, you have to be such an evil entity if you are preventing food from reaching starving children. I do not understand that. For your own, whatever the fuck your project is, yeah, right? I have no words. I don't know how to articulate it, because I'm filled with like visceral like indignation. It's such a visceral reaction to, like, I get so much visceral reaction from these types of, like, updates on my feed. So I think that in order for me to be able to sustain myself, to keep supporting the cause, I need to cut back down on my social media consumption, like, particularly, like, not look at my feed so much and just focus on what I could do in the ground, right? Like, what I could do out in my local community, right? What I could do for them, what I could do for the Palestinians that are living in Japan, right? So today I reached out, I talked personally to one of the organizers in the event that I went to, and I told them that I did a merch drop, and I'm planning to donate half of my proceeds to the Palestinian cause. And what better way to do that? Like, I mean, initially I announced that I am going to be donating it to you know the three organizations that has been sent to me, like a link by another like person that I met at the protest. But I think it would be better if I actually hand it to an actual Palestinian, right? Like I would actually like give the money to them personally. So I know that for sure it's going to reach to the people that I want the money to get the money anyway, right? Because a lot of them are getting their families out. They're really desperate to like evacuate their families, because right now they're just at the time, like, you know, like they're just it's really sad to describe this, but a lot of them are just waiting to like for the other shoe to drop, because some of them know, like, yeah, maybe I'm next. Like, imagine that's your last, like, imagine somebody having that last thought, like, yo, this is like my last, you know, this is my last chance. I may not be able to make it out alive. Like, that's fucked up. That's really fucked up. That shouldn't be happening, especially towards children. And remember, like I said, 50% of the population of Gaza are children. So what are we doing? Why not a lot of people are talking about it, or if they're talking about it, they're dismissing it as just another Middle Eastern conflict, right? Like, oh, it's just you know, the Muslims and the Jewish are fighting, whatever. But it's not that. It's not that. Because there are Jewish Palestinians. There are Christian Palestinians. There are atheist Palestinians. All of them are equally, you know, ethnically cleansed. So what are we doing here? It's, yeah, the ceasefire, you know, we could, at the moment, yes, like, materially we need a ceasefire, because, you know, we can't just, we need a temporary relief, but the permanent solution actually really is like freeing them. Like, how about they don't control Gaza Strip, right? How about they don't do that, right? How about they just let the Palestinians like be? So anyway, I haven't been looking at the chat right now. I'm sorry. I can't process what's going on in my head right now. There's just so many things that I've seen, I've heard, and it's too much for me to verbalize. So I apologize for like the disjointed thoughts, but I'm just here sharing my experience and the stories that I've heard from actual Palestinians that I've seen, you know, in Japan. Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes me so mad, why I don't see Christians around me mad that they're bombing Christian families. Yeah. Because that's not the narrative that, like I said, that's not the narrative that's popular. When you say Palestinians, it's just Arabs, the Muslim Arabs. That's it. And, you know, the world is not really welcoming of Islam, right now, as we stand, because of that, the numerous quote unquote war on terror that the United States actually just, you know, they made shit up for them. They actually helped created the Islamic groups, right? The extremist groups themselves, because of the constant destabilization. Sorry, I can't speak English. The destabilization of those countries. You know, when you destabilize a country, there's gonna be a vacuum of power, right? A power vacuum. So, like, of course, you know, some bad entities would take over, and even then, like, they actually created those bad entities to serve their interests. But then when those entities do not serve their interests anymore, they turn against them, and then they twist the narrative again and again. Oh yeah, we must go there for our freedoms, and then they send the troops because freedoms. I don't know why American freedoms lie in the Middle East. I've always baffled about that, but yeah, apparently American freedoms are always in the Middle East. I don't know. It's bullshit. We all know that, but yeah. But anyway, yeah. What I want to do right now is I just wanna inform you guys that this is what I've been doing. So just so you're wondering why I haven't been releasing anything. I actually postponed all of my shit that I was supposed to release. Because first of all, I'm not in the right mindset. I'm not in the right state of mind to do content creation when I know that my energy should be spent on the ground. Because I like to walk my talk. So when I say that I am for this cause, I will be for that cause, and I will do it physically when I can. So that's what I've been doing. I just don't wax poetic and then go back to my, to being an anime girl bullshit, that kind of thing. I mean, what I actually do is, do what I say, right? Which is this. I've been gathering funds. I've been using my platform to rally the cause. My platform is not that big, but I'm doing what I can. So for those of you guys who are supportive of everything that I've been doing up until this day, supportive of me taking some time off so I could, join IRL events. So yeah, I'm really grateful for all of you guys who are here, who are listening to me, having my rambling about my random thoughts. That's really, I really appreciate all of you guys. And yesterday I checked my Spotify demographic, right? My Spotify world demographic, and it really kind of crushed my heart when I saw that I actually have 3 listeners from Palestine territories. So wherever they are right now, it's astounding to me that my music actually reached Palestine. So even if it's with just 3 metalheads, even one person is hey, I reached someone there. So I'm glad that I'm, that they make me part of their lives. I'm glad that you make me part of your lives. You tell me every time that you put me on your playlist when you go to the gym, when you drive, when you drive to work, when you drive back home, when you clean your house. I don't know, I'm just grateful that you make me part of your lives, that in a way, right? My music is part of your daily routines. So I'm that alone is, to me, is just holy shit, man. I'm so lucky and grateful for the kind of platform that I have. And with that said, I am using that privilege, I'm using that platform because I am very lucky to be alive here, to be able to talk my shit. So that's why I'm highlighting this. I'm putting this on for those of you who are not aware, and to repel people who do not have sympathy for the Palestinians. I don't want you here. Fuck off. Fucking unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear what you want to say. Fuck off. You know what? I actually Like there was like I had like a long-term member apparently who was a Zionist. And you know what I did? Fucking banned that person from my Discord, banned that person from my YouTube. Don't want your shit right here. I don't fucking want to like deal with those people because I don't want to waste my time. My time is precious and my time should be dedicated towards highlighting the cause, not arguing with a bunch of idiots or with a bunch of willfully ignorant people. I don't know. I don't want that. So this is what I use this. Like, I'm just a fucking anime bitch on the internet, right? Like, who makes music. Like, I'm very insignificant on a grand scale of things. I don't have that, reach. But within my reach, I will do whatever I can. I'm grateful your Rs are finally open. Well, I've always been a Palestine supporter, even before becoming Futakuchi mana. I've always been a supporter of Palestine. I was just not verbal about it. Like, I was just not like, super, what do you call this? I don't post about it all the time. But right now, it's very critical now. Because the death toll is rising. Like, there's really, like, a lot, it's I think a lot of those people need our help. Like, whatever, if for whatever means possible. So now I've been just using my platform to do that. But my eyes have always been open. I've always been against settler colonialism. So. And I really, I'm hoping for a free Palestine in our lifetimes. Like, I don't want praise for any of the shit that I've been doing because this is the bare minimum. This is the default. This should be a default of, like, okay, when a humanitarian in a face of a humanitarian crisis, what do? You do what you can. Even if you don't have the monetary, financial means to help, it's okay. Just be aware. Just educate yourself about it. If you have like a local chapter or a local like organization that caters to Palestinian cause, talk to them, join them, be on the ground, do something about it, share stories, if you can only do it on the internet, sure, okay, do it as well. Like, I mean, there are so many ways to help. There are so many ways to raise awareness. There's really, literally no excuse at this point. Like, as of now, I think there are thousands of children that have already been murdered. Like, none of them had a chance, You know what I mean? Like, I grew up to be an adult. It took me a while to circle back to doing what I love, which is doing music. And those children didn't even have the time or the chance to explore their creative sides, right? That, like, how many future musicians or metalheads have been robbed of their chance at life, right? Or future scientists, future scholars. How many? And at what point do we have to wait for millions for the death toll to reach millions in order for us to talk about it? What is the line? What is the line here, right? It's been an ongoing situation for 75 years now, but this time around it's been more visible because of social media, because also, the IDF pigs are also very vocal about their war crimes. They're actually promoting, like, the war crime influencers, right? They just post their atrocities online, and I'm like, you know what? Let them. let them do, like, you know, because we have receipts now. Like, all right, let them make that mistake. Nobody correct them. So people can actually see them going mask off. Like, I don't practice any faith, right? To me, like, I have problems. I have, like, you know, I have criticisms towards all religions. But to me, but right now, that's not important. That's not the point. The point is to send humanitarian aid for starving children, to send medical aid to people who have been injured in the countless bombardments in civilian settlements. Yeah, exactly. Free evidence. So, you know, let them let the genocide Barbies talk their shit. Let the world see the evil for who the evil that they're doing, you know? Like, that's what I call them now. Those you know, those popular influencers on the internet. I think mostly on TikTok though. Yeah, they're called the genocide Barbies. So make of that what you will. But thank you so much everyone for donating to PCRF, because they're a legit org. They really send updates, you know. They're not a corrupt org. They give you know, what do you call this? Regular relief or regular aid to children and their families. So right now, I think I saw a post where they just gave 1,000 winter coats to children right now. Oh yeah, and thank you Zephy for reminding chat. Thank you so much. And thanks for dropping by. I just got home, yeah. It was really cold outside. So whenever I come home, like, even though I still have time to, like, I was like, okay, maybe I should record, but also, like, I was shouting at the I was helping with the chants and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been yelling for like up to like 2 hours around those times. And you know, it's really cold out, so it kind of put a little bit of, not super strain, but like a little bit of strain on, you know, my vocals a little bit. But it's nothing. it's just like something that, you know, happens when you're doing that. And thank you Starry-Eyed S for donating to PCRF. And all the anonymous people who are donating to PCRF, thank you so much. I am so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of my community. I'm so proud of everyone here. I'm so happy that you guys are woke. Not woke, but like you guys have the self-awareness and the social awareness to be able to decide for yourselves that this is wrong, you know? I'm not telling you to do this, you know, to like, nobody is it's a voluntary thing, you know. Make of it what you will. Do like, see the situation for what it is, you know. It's all up to you. Here is a graduation of children in Gaza doing a performance on how they take civilian hostages. What? The fuck do you mean? How they take civilian hostages? Like, you mean the IDF? How they take civilian hostages? How are you, man? No, I'm not sick. I've been crying. I cry a little bit. I don't really like doing that, but it's when you're trying to articulate yourself, because when you see images of really like inhumanity, it's just it's hard to process. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Sorry, I didn't ask like how you guys are. Um, how is everyone? Welcome to my stream. For those of you who just caught me today streaming, I don't really stream that much, especially now that I've been participating in IRL events. I haven't been really like it's not. It's the last thing on my mind is to stream, but yeah, I've been also like stewing on some ideas on some I want to turn this into like to help me process my emotions. I've always been turning to music, so I will probably be writing about it. I'm gonna be writing a song. Um yeah. Why is like okay, so Fire Lion 98 is a fucking Zionist. Fuck off, bitch. Bye. They're really purposefully being vague. Fuck off, bitch ass. Like I told everyone, like why would you why would anyone be here if you don't like what I'm doing? Like just leave. Nobody's like putting a gun to your head, unlike the IDF. Hello from Vodka Country says, hello sis, welcome to my stream. I've been out and about, as I've been telling you. That's why I'm really I told everyone that I have projects with that I am out here doing this, and I'm so thankful that they've been very 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 understanding of the delays in my recordings, of like postponing my recording schedules, because this is just something that needs to be done, right? Like I don't have a skin in this game. Like I'm not, I don't have family in Palestine. I don't. But if you have basic human empathy, wouldn't you? Right? Wouldn't you want to like help out? Like it doesn't matter what sides are you. I don't know what political side you're on. But we're talking about sending aid to children. We're talking about helping children get out of a really, really, really like an inhumane situation. Oh yeah, I just recently heard that Russia might step up in helping the Palestinians in a new way. I don't really know about that, but like I know that South Africa has been very supportive of Palestine, because they've experienced the same exact thing that Israel is doing to the Palestinians. The South African apartheid, because it is an apartheid right now. Like I don't fucking understand how people would like have that mental, like the mental gymnastics that the Zionists go through. That they go through a lot every day. The cognitive dissonance, the turning off, the deliberate turning off of their human empathy to justify killing children. And let's say that some of the people that they've killed have done something illegal, right, to their eyes. Don't they have a right to due process? Because like in civilized societies, there is such a thing called due process. Where is the due process when you're just randomly, open fire? Oh, they're just yesterday, or was it the other day? Some people who were trying to get to the aid that was airdropped to them, to get bags of flour. The IDF open fired to them. Like a bunch of animals. Like they were just a bunch of animals. 105 people died trying to get to flour. To get flour. Can you imagine this? They're fighting for their lives to get flour. Countless of lives have died in similar situations in Gaza. It's just another day in Gaza. And somehow I am supposed to think that the IDF are fighting the right cause. Are you fucking insane? I don't understand. So no, I refuse. I'm not neutral. I am for Palestine. I do not condone Zionists, and anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. There are lots of I saw a bunch of Jewish people at the rally today, okay? That is, no. And if we are to trace back history, right? Palestinians probably have more ancient Hebrew blood in them than the colonizers. But that's another story for a different day. But if people really want to drive in this narrative of like they're right, like it's somehow they're right. Like Netanyahu is what, from Poland? Is he Polish? I forgot. But like these people are like from whoever the fuck from New York is somehow some white guy from New York is somehow indigenous to Israel. What? To the land, to occupied Palestine, which they call Israel. How are you native? How do you say that you are indigenous to that land? No, you're not. So it's weird. It's really so crazy right now. That's kind of the narrative that they're going for. And they're denying that the Palestinians are indigenous to the land. Their ancestors literally lived there. Tens of generations. Like at the very least, their ancestors have been there for tens of generations. I don't know. I think the Caribbean, Cuba is peaking out. I mean, Cuba has always been supportive of colonized people. Yeah. Ethiopia is the birthplace of mankind. Yeah, I guess we're all exactly. If that's what the kind of narrative that they're going for, I guess I'm Ethiopian too. It's stupid. Like those weirdos who would say like, "Oh, they're all the birth of civilization is the birth of like humanity is in Africa. We are all Africans." No, you're not. I feel you're really tired and sad. Yeah, I'm very tired and sad. Not sad for myself. I'm sad for the people out there who do not have homes to come to. Mana, are you going to be doing a live concert anytime soon? You could use the profits from it to make a change. I don't really do live concerts though. I don't have a band. It's amazing to see that many third world countries are stepping up more and more, not just against Israel, but also supporters like Germany. Wait, what? Really? Germany? But I thought like Germany was very vehement about their Zionist. You know, they're very pro-Zionist, I believe. At the very least, the German government. I don't know about the German people, the public consensus for the German people. I have no idea. So, any Germans here? I don't know. Almost all high positions in the Israel government have they have European backgrounds. A lot of them are from Eastern Europe, I think. Like I'm following this really talented Palestinian diaspora singer / rapper, and he said that he and his dad were like taking a picture with the Palestinian flag somewhere, and they kind of was just chilling, right? They were having like he and his dad were trying to take a break, and then like they were out and about, and they went sightseeing somewhere, and then they were taking pictures with the Palestinian flag, and his dad was attacked by a Zionist person, a Zionist a Zionist woman, a white woman, who she physically attacked his dad, and then at the end of it, like, he was just like, man, these are just some evil Europeans with these are some evil Europeans with an evil, not evil, sorry, I worded that incorrectly. He said that she's like a European with an evil identity crisis. So I'm like, yeah, that summarizes it perfectly. I pulled my rigger out from under the bombing in Ukraine. Since he is part of my team, I understand your feelings. The main thing is to not miss all the negativity. You can go crazy. Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad that your rigger is out of Ukraine, though. I do feel for the people of Ukraine and Russia that are suffering, the civilians on both sides, on Russia and Russia and Ukraine, because of this conflict. Like I recently haven't had any updates about the Russian and Ukrainian conflict, but I've always been in the position for the people. Not fuck the governments. I honestly cannot condone both governments. I'm sorry. But I am for the people. So let's not also in the chat, let's focus more on the Palestine issue. So that we're not gonna sway the what do you call this? That's gonna derail the discussion. I love you, sis. You're strong, really. No, I'm very weak. Whenever I see, like, I can't look at my feed without having a mental breakdown. So I've been trying to avoid that. It's exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting, to be honest. I'm emotionally exhausted. It's a different kind of exhaustion. It's not even in the body, I'm not physically exhausted. I'm emotionally exhausted. More 1,000 Palestinian children died. Yeah. I love your content and music. Keep it doing. Thank you so much. It's great to see someone like you talking about such serious topics. I try. Like, I'm not the most eloquent and the most, you know, since I am not trained, I do not have training to be able to, like, create my arguments in a very convincing way. I'm always talking from you know, from what I experience, right? I'm always talking from my personal experiences and from what I've seen, from what I researched by myself, what I read in history books. Like, I just express it on my platform, you know. I don't force my friends to, like, join me. I don't force anyone. I just post it on my own. And if you sympathize with it, if it resonates with you, then thank you. But I'm not in any way like forcing anyone of my friends or anyone in my audience to do the same thing as I do, you know. Except if you are really out here to be to just want to, like, be antagonistic, you know. I don't want to hear that either. Like, I don't want to argue with a Zionist, please. I do not care. I do not care what you have to say. Go do that in your own platform. But in my own platform, I will not be engaging any Zionists. I am tired of all of you. I'm tired of listening to y'all victimizing yourselves where actual victims are dying. We can see it on video, broskis. While you are, like, dancing around with bombs or dancing on Palestinian children's graves. Even desecrating the graves of their ancestors by dispossessing their lands, right? By you know, displacing them from their villages, ethnically cleansing villages, just so the settlers could build their homes there. I don't understand this, and this is wrong. I mean, on like on a basic level, this is wrong. And I do not condone that. But yeah, I want to show some of the things that some videos that I want to show you guys. There's this one of the organizers at the event actually talked about it, her experience growing up in Gaza, and now she's in Japan because her dad got a job in Japan. Hold on, let me just find the video. Yeah, so this is the event that I joined today. We were at Shinjuku. Hold on. Let me just turn the audio on. People. So this is I'm here. I was here somewhere.
People in the north of Gaza are starving to death. People in the north of Gaza are suffering and starving to death, even after the Flower Massacre, even after the United Nations and many countries ago till now, that at least 10 kids died because of lack of nutrition and hydration. People are dying of hunger there, and the Israeli army is not giving permission for anyone to airstrike. 148 of the continuous genocide against my people. People are dying because of hunger, because Israel is using starvation as a weapon against us. It said yesterday on Instagram. I hope you all can listen carefully and spread the message that is coming out of Gaza about the hunger, about the starvation.
Yeah, don't be anti-Semitic though.
No!
Like, oh yeah, we're doing the Fanuk petition as well. So hold on, I'm gonna link a change.org petition because this company has been Fanuk has been selling robots to make Israeli weapons. So if you could visit this website, it has an English explanation at the bottom, but if you could sign this petition, I'd really appreciate it. Hold on. Where is that? Wait, let me why is it not linking? Hold on. Sorry guys. I don't know why it's not linking. Oh, okay. It went over the character limit. What? Why is that? Maybe I can use tiny URL. Oh yeah, there we go. So I linked that. Please, if you can, sign the petition. I know that it's not like the only thing that, you know, it's... the best thing we could do is have the public, you know, public opinion sway towards the Palestinians. That's really the point of these. But also, you know, we do not stop here. Just, you know, online things. We also do things on the ground, right? So, but if you can't, you know, let's do what you can. Like, let's just do whatever you can. And I'd really appreciate it if you help us sign the petition. And Millennium Star, thank you so much for donating to the PCRF. Y'all are amazing. I am so lucky to have all of you in my fan base. I am so proud of you guys. You make my heart swell. This is really important, like not just to me on a personal level, but it's on a humanitarian level. Like it's just not a personal cause for me. To me, I see it as my social responsibility as a human being to not let let this happen, you know? Yeah, I pinned the wrong message. Sorry. Anyway, much love from Vietnam. Hey, yeah, let's go. I know Vietnamese people are also, you know, they have a lot of revolutionary background. So, of course. I have to go for base practice, showing everyone much love and support from Turkey. Thank you so much, Rin. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. There's really there. I didn't really plan this stream. I just got home and I saw that I still have time to, like, you know, stream and update everyone. But this is what I've been doing. This is the kind of things that I've been focusing my energy on. Because, you know, I have a full-time job, and I only have my days off and weekends, right, to record and do, you know, content creation stuff. But right now I'm using all of my free time for this. So, because I feel like, yeah, the escalation is just too much in it. Like, I just don't wanna. It has reached the tipping point. Like, it's hard to ignore. And why are we even ignoring it in the first place, right? So, no. Hold on, let me. Sorry, I couldn't find the video that I want to watch with y'all. Let me find it first. Sorry about that, because it's been a while. I've been not really streaming these past few days, so. Let me just go back to my profile. Yeah, it's on Instagram because it's easier to navigate and post anything Palestinian related there. So if you want to see you know, what I've been doing what I've been posting on Instagram, my stories, just follow my account if you want. If you don't want to, then you don't have to, you know. Simple as. Just okay, I think I found it.
One of my biggest dreams besides freeing Palestine.
All right. So that's like she's one of the organizers in the events.
One of my biggest dreams besides freeing Palestine is to see Japan recognize Palestine. I consider Japan like my second home, so it would really mean the world to me if they did.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Hanin Siam, and I'm from Gaza, Palestine, and my family lives in Tokyo, in Japan. I came to Tokyo in 2003. So my family has been living here for over 20 years now. I lived here from 2003 until 2014, until I graduated from high school, and then I left Japan.
Tell us a bit more about that journey, about how you came here in 2003. Like, how did that all happen? What was happening at the time?
Yeah, so my dad got a job here in Japan, and at the time we were still living in Gaza. And it was actually during the second Intifada, and it quite, scary. We lived not under the same circumstances as they are now. Now it's 100 times worse. But we lived under bombings and, hearing the drones and the planes and that same kind of scenery. So we lived through that, and my dad got his job, so we left Gaza. And, for a really long time, and even till today, a part of you still feels guilty for leaving. But this was for his job, and it's also representing our country. And so, yeah, we came to Japan. And, overnight it went from bombings and screamings and crying to, landing at Narita and just in a completely different world.
Do you still have many memories of your time as a child in Gaza?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was quite young, but I have a lot of kind of scenery and kind of scenes from Gaza. From our childhood when we used to play, all the neighbors. So we lived in this building on the 13th floor. So we used to always play with all the neighbors and on the playground and, just our whole area, just the supermarket where everything is, we have so many good memories there, and all of our friends and my mom's family lives in Gaza as well. So I remember a lot of it, and every summer we used to go back to Gaza. So although we lived in Tokyo, we used to go to Egypt, and then from Egypt we used to enter Gaza and see our family.
Let's fast forward for a little bit into life in Japan. So you came here, how old were you when you first came here?
I was 7 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's super young.
So-
Okay. And do you have, I guess, life in Japan as a Palestinian? How was that growing up here?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit weird because nobody really knew much about Palestine. So wherever I would go and people would ask me, where are you from? And I tell them Palestine, they're like, Pakistan? Yeah, like Pakistan. I'm like, no, Palestine. And then I explained. So it's, it's starting from scratch almost with their knowledge, but it's cool for me and it's opportunity for me to be able to kind of bridge that.
That's a kind of erasure that's been happening for them.
Occasional opportunity. Like, oh, you don't know Palestine? Okay. And it's funny because there's.
That's good that she's actually using that as an opportunity to educate people about Palestine.
The thing in the Middle East, especially, but Palestinians will always tell you that they're Palestinian. Like, you will know a Palestinian without knowing because you always have to tell people. And I think that's just a product of, trying to be erased over the last 80 years. So,
Bingo, see?
For us, it's very important to say, to talk about Palestine and talk about our culture. So when I came, it was a bit weird. Nobody really knew much about Palestine. But over the years, we tried our best to do our job and to, bridge that gap. And a lot more people learned about Palestine. People started visiting as well. So, I feel like there has been a huge, outcome out of this. And although it's not always easy to, people look at you like you're weird or, they don't know where you're from, but, it's a chance for us to educate those people.
Just another point I wanted to bring up was around, I guess, Japan's identity around, it's very monocultural. Do you feel that when you first came here? Like, what was it like daily life like for you here?
Yeah, I mean, when I first came, I feel like Japan was a lot different than it is now. So it's a lot more, there's a lot more signs in English, a lot more, people are more open to it now. But when I came in 2003, it was a lot different. English was not accepted really. We were still learning English when we first came as well. It wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy as well. I feel like Japan is kind of unique because nobody really gets in your way. No one will jump in your way and be like, what are you doing? Who are you? So people don't do those kinds.
Except for when one of the Palestinian events happened, like there was one Karen we don't know if like white Karen was from, like was a resident in Japan, or I mean, like they were working or living in Japan. I'm not sure, or they're just a tourist. But yeah, she was so aggressive. But yeah, not really like outward, like Japanese people would interrupt and cross the picket line, you know?
Kinds of things, they don't say any kind of comment. They kind of just leave you alone, which is nice. But then it's also not nice because you're always kind of left alone and you're like just that foreigner. So that's kind of the balance that was a bit hard. But lucky for me, I went to an international school. So I had a lot of, half Japanese, half, foreign friends. And they really helped me, they accepted me, they welcomed me. Our school was very welcoming to all the cultures as well. So I never had that feeling that I was, not welcomed or not accepted.
And is there a big Palestinian community here? I've noticed a few people today at the protests. Can you tell us more about Palestinians in Japan?
Yeah, the community is tiny. So, there's about 100-something Palestinians in Japan, which is very, very few. We're such a minority here, but because we are so few, it's very important for us to coordinate together and to meet each other, because a lot of us don't know each other. And we're only meeting now at protests. So it's nice that we finally have this community that's building.
Okay, cool. And let's go back to Gaza again. Do you still have family there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so my mom's family is there.
And can you tell us more about what you're hearing from them?
Yeah, so my mom's siblings, they live in Gaza. Not all of them, some of them left before. And yeah, over the last 106 days, I mean, it's things that are unimaginable to us. Even for them, they've lived through 6 previous aggressions on Gaza. And they said if you combine all of those aggressions together, it still wouldn't add up to what we're witnessing today. And they were saying, if there was one way they could describe it, it's those movies that we see about war, about world war, but they're living it in real life. And, it's hard for us to even imagine, but for us, we're just seeing it, we're just using 1 or 2 of our senses where they are actually, living it fully. So they smell the blood, they hear the cries, they see the shattered and, the destroyed homes and the amputees and, people's body parts all over. So they have to actually not just live it, but see, smell, feel everything. So that's the tough part to think about, honestly.
It's harrowing.
It's things that we can't even wrap our head around. And yeah, I mean, every day they're just feeling more hopeless, and it's sad for us because we're, every day we're trying to mobilize and we're trying to do more, and nothing is happening in terms of, a ceasefire, and they're just feeling like it's going to be their turn next. On Facebook, a lot of them write their goodbye, final goodbye messages, kind of thanking the world, thanking people, and then they're just hopeless. So for them, although they're thanking the people they love and everything, they also feel like they've been abandoned and they feel like they've been left behind and that the world doesn't care. And it really pains me to think that could be somebody's, last thought.
This is why, even though I only have 3 listeners in Palestine, to me, yo, I'm not, whoever those people are, whoever those Palestinians are, I am thinking about them. They're not forgotten. I'm doing what I can. We're all doing what we can to put awareness on what is happening. And, somehow, hopefully, that would alleviate their situation, or that would actually amount to something more substantial, like policy changes or whatever the fuck, right? Anything. Let's do something.
Although people in Gaza and Palestinians in general, we have an immense amount of faith. And so no matter what happens, I know that in their last breath, they are, praying to God, and that's what keeps us all going.
Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about two-state solution for not just this year, but many, many years before as well. So what do you think you see this going?
So, I mean, nobody really knows where it's going, right? But there's always been a debate about one-state and two-state solution. And, I'm going to be honest and say when I went to Palestine, and I mean the West Bank and Jerusalem particularly, because I was born and raised in Gaza, seeing just how everything was and how, Israel was so evident. They were there and they had backing by some of the biggest powers in the world. And I just couldn't see a way that they would not be there. You know what I mean? There's no way. But after the last 106 days in Gaza, I really don't see any way they could potentially be there still. How can we live next to people who are doing this to our people? Like, I'm serious, If someone came over and kicked you out of your house and killed your kids and then said, yeah, why don't you just live with me? How would you feel about that, right?
Exactly.
So that's the kind of iffy part. Nobody really knows, but I just don't see a way we could live in peace with people that have that kind of, genocidal intent.
Exactly.
And tell us more about the organizations in Japan or in Tokyo, and in Japan broadly.
Like, I'm pretty sure that at this point, Palestinians would be like, okay, two-state solution. But Israel doesn't want that. They want complete ethnic cleansing. Have you listened to their politicians? They're admitting it. They said like, oh, we're blockading aid. We're using different methods so that other countries would take pity on them and take them, because we want them out there. So who really here has like that kind of mentality? Who really here has that, who really here does not want peace? Tell me. Right? It's they're unmasking themselves. Like, they're telling on themselves. They themselves putting themselves on video saying those absolutely horrendous shit. And then you're still some people are still out here be telling me like, "Oh, it's okay, like, it's because of Hamas." Fuck you. No. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That are talking about these issues and raising them.
So there are a few organizers. Some of the Japanese ones are part of like labor unions and things like that.
Yeah.
We also have some Japanese individuals.
Hell yeah, unions.
For example, this lady, she runs No Detention, Yes Life. And that's fighting for a different cause, but because they care about people and they care about humans, they're willing to also fight for the Palestinian cause, which is how it should be, When I first came, I went to a protest in Shinjuku in October 13th, and I met a few people, but I didn't know any organizers or anything. I kind of just took it on me to organize because I didn't really know who's organizing, who's really mobilizing. It wasn't quite clear where to find information.
See, good for her. Like, she really had the initiative and also that kind of drive, of course, because she is a Palestinian, which is really great because like it's so hard to organize these events, and I'm so glad that there's like an ongoing, like every week there is an event now, and every week there are more people showing up, which is really great. See what mobilizing could do, what actually doing it in real life could do. Like, sure, we can do that on the internet as well, but like, it's really different when you're out there, when you're face to face talking to people, when they're seeing, like the actual human interactions, right? Like sharing stories between humans, right? They've gone fascist full decades ago. Yeah. The ethnic cleansing started in 1948, okay? In Nakba. What happened in Nakba? That was the first. The first, like, really full-out mask-off genocidal intent. That was 1948.
Information. And so I was like, okay, let me be the one to do that. And, I've met amazing people at protests, very incredibly talented people. And together we just, met up and decided to plan and organize and mobilize ourselves so we don't have to wait for other people to do it.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's been really good. I mean, it's difficult in a place like Japan, but definitely we're getting more numbers, getting more.
Yeah, because you have to ask for permits. You have to have a lot of like. There's a lot of bureaucracy that goes on when planning public events like this, right? And it's props to them, to Hanin and everyone else that are organizing these events now, because they took time, like a lot of like their free time. They could be out here. They could just they're comfortable here now, right? Like they could just be like doing their own thing. But no, this is an important cause, and they're doing it themselves now, which is really great.
People getting more attention, spreading more awareness, and that's all we really want to do, you know, and pressure obviously the Japanese government to recognize Palestine and support Palestine and to back a ceasefire as well.
And what do you think about the Japanese government's stance on this?
The stance is very, you know, wishy-washy.
Yeah.
It's not so clear what their stance is. I mean, it's clear that they are not backing a ceasefire. It's clear that they are supporting Israel because of the United States.
Yep.
But if you look behind the scenes a little bit, a lot of Japanese politicians support Palestine, and they've been supporting Palestine for years. Japan itself has been supporting Palestine for decades, which people don't know.
Yeah.
JICA used to have an office in Gaza, yeah, in the building that we lived in. Now I don't know if it still stands, but JICA and Japan in general, they've been supporting Palestine for so long, but people don't know about it. I don't see how any human could look and watch at something like this and not have some sort of feeling, you know?
Exactly.
Whether you agree or disagree or whatever, but how can you, you know, watch and just not feel anything? You're just, okay, whatever, let me go about my day. But no, Japanese politicians, I feel like, I can't speak for all of them, obviously, but I know a few that really, really support Palestine. They're doing everything they can. They took it upon themselves to start their own initiatives as well. There's an initiative for selling Palestinian olive oil. It's an MPO here in Japan. I forgot the name, but I'll let you know. Things like that. So, you know, they support Palestine. They feel for us. But then when it comes to the, you know, global stage, the United Nations, Japan has nothing to really say. They just kind of, you know, follow what America says, unfortunately, which makes me very, very sad, because I feel like it's time to break free from that as well, and to stand up for what you really believe in. So I really hope to see that one day. That's one of my biggest dreams besides freeing Palestine, is to see Japan recognize Palestine. You know, I consider Japan like my second home, so it would really mean the world to me if they did.
I know we touched on this briefly, but Japanese people in general, we saw a few out today at the protests, but how about just generally like what you've seen throughout the years here in terms of this issue?
I mean, you got a bit of everything, right? So you have some people that care, you have some people that really don't care, you have some people that don't know and don't care to know. But the people that I've met and the people that are showing up to the protests really care, like beyond, you know, imagination. They really feel for us. You know, a lot of people come up to me and they hug me, and I just, from the hug, I feel the emotions that they're feeling and the support and love that they have for Palestine. And I've seen a lot of it, which has been incredible, because it gives us hope and it allows us to believe that, you know, we can keep going and we can really fight for this. Because a lot of times we've seen aggressions on Gaza, people fight for 2 weeks and then they, you know, they kind of stop posting, stop sharing. But this time, you know, everything's going quite steady and quite strong. And it's increasing in Japan as well, the awareness. So I hope it keeps going. I hope people continue to learn, and I hope people share it with their friends and families. I know it's not really a thing to talk about politics, but this is not political. This is, you know, this is only humanity. This is just about being.
Yeah, it goes beyond politics at this point. Like how, like I said earlier, like this is, you know, it doesn't really matter what politics you, like what political stance you have. If you, I will judge you if, like, based on your reaction on you know, based on the actions that, the course of actions that you would choose to take. Like if you are going to blockade aid for starving children, I fucking do not want to have anything to do with you. I don't give a fuck if you're like, if you have the same political alignment as me, but if you react that way, bitch, no, I don't want you. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to be associated with you. Fuck you. Fuck that. Anyway.
being a human and having some feelings for somebody else, even if you can't relate. You don't have to relate to be able to feel. So a lot of Japanese people have displayed that, even though they can also relate to a certain extent, which is beautiful. And yeah, I just hope that it continues to grow in Japan and it doesn't die down.
Do you see yourself like staying in Japan for the foreseeable future? Like, what's your, I guess, the next, I don't know, I hate to say, I always say, I hate these interview questions, like next 5 to 10 years, what are, I guess, your longer term ambitions?
It's a good question. All my life, I always had a goal of working for the Palestinian cause. And I always wanted to be, like, as a kid, I wanted to be in journalism and in media and stuff. But as I grew up, that slowly changed. But, after I started working and also studying finance, I never felt fulfilled. I never felt like what I was doing was what I really wanted to do. And I knew a big part of me always wanted to work for the cause. I just wanted to time it right, and I'll tell you why. I worked with Palestinian refugees briefly one summer. And after leaving, I felt so bad. I felt horrible. I had built such a connection with these kids, and then all of a sudden, I'm leaving them. I felt like a horrible person. I'm abandoning them. So I told myself, if I ever wanted to do work like this, I need to make sure that I dedicate my entire life to it. And, the last 100-something days really changed everything. Life completely changed. Now is the time, I feel, more than ever. And so I'm making kind of big plans to shift my career. Kind of focused on helping people in Gaza and in Palestine. So we're working on a few things. So hopefully it materializes and it goes well. And that's really just the idea of it already excites me and makes me feel fulfilled. So I'm looking forward.
Are there certain organizations or certain things out there right now that are helping out with this, with what's happening?
There are, absolutely. There are international organizations, not so many in Gaza, just, because of the situation as well, and just the siege in general. It's not hard for people to go to Gaza. So there are international organizations, but it's iffy because I feel like these international organizations also have their own agenda. And a lot of times I feel a bit hesitant to donate to them because I'm like, is the money really reaching? How much of it is reaching? So on and so forth. A lot of times, the way I would support would be directly to my family. So we support directly, not through any international organization. Are they trusted? Yes, they are doing, work. You can clearly see that they're supporting, but I also feel like it's kind of a Band-Aid on the wound, if I may. So, it's kind of aiding the occupation in a sense. Without the occupation, without these massacres, we wouldn't necessarily be needing all these,
Exactly. Like, if they were sovereign, if the people in that land in Palestine were sovereign, they have their own. We don't need aid. They don't need charity, right? They wouldn't be needing any of this. So, it's like Haneen said, it's just a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening in the first place? If we address it in a systemically, then we wouldn't be needing all of these, palliative aids, right? Because they're just gonna be living their actual lives, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Fuck.
Organizations, so they're kind of profiting off the occupation in a way, which makes me very hesitant to deal with them or even work with them. It used to be my dream to work in the United Nations. I think many people. I don't trust the United Nations. And then we grow up and realize just how, corrupt, effective it is. Absolutely. So that's why I want to do something on my own and lead it by myself and support directly.
So maybe just to finish off, where can people, if they are in Japan or interested in finding more about what's happening in Japan in regards to the initiatives happening, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so there's a lot of spread out information, let's say, but one good tip I can give you is to always search with the hashtag, like with, just searching Palestina, and you'll see people posting the flyer with that hashtag. Another way, obviously, is to follow people directly. I've been posting a lot about the protests.
Yeah, that's why
I
I've
have
been
a highlight as
following
well
her
on my page with all the protests saved. No detention, yes life as well. They post a lot of the protests. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many of us, but we're finding more and more people that are posting all the details. On Twitter as well, I would say. You have Shindo-sang, very active on Twitter. Yeah, I feel like those are good. And then also maybe there's this guy who created a Google Calendar recently. So he just shared it with me yesterday, and I'll most likely post it so people can have it synced on their calendar. They can see what events, whether it's a protest or a film screening or a vigil, those kinds of things. So I think that's going to be really helpful for people to keep track.
And there's events like every week, right?
Yeah, pretty much every week,
Yeah.
2-3 times a week, sometimes more, depending on the people who are organizing. But yeah, we try to come out as much as we can, and we're trying to switch it up as well, doing different events that also cater to different people.
Yeah.
We know some people don't like to go to protests or don't, they're not in that mood. Fine. We created, vigils or, Tears for Palestine, which they come and they paint a red tear in honor of the martyrs in Gaza and Palestine. So things like this, we're really trying to do a lot, and that's all for the sake of people. It's not for us, we know about
exactly.
Palestine, we know exactly the history, we know everything, but we're doing it for others. And so I hope people show up. I hope people continue to come and bring
that what they're doing right now, or what the protests are about, is to increase visibility, to make people think twice, right? To make people like look the other way, like not look the other way, but like look into it, right? Look into the issue, like what is going on, why are they protesting? So there might be some people who just don't give a fuck, like this is not for them. But those people who otherwise, like if they actually know, they would look into it, right? So this is for those people, because we can't please everyone, we can't really convince everyone out here. But the point is, we mobilize out there, we go out and just put more visibility in there. Like even one person every like just if you touched curiosity of one, if you pique the curiosity of one person, that's already a lot. So imagine, right? Like that's why they do it in front of stations, because people pass by a lot. There's especially in Shinjuku Station. It's the biggest train station in Japan, right? So a lot of people are passing by. Millions of people are passing by. So imagine, out of those millions, we could get what? 1,000? 100, right? That's already a lot, So it's really like for those people. Like it's not for me. I'm already converted. Like you mean like what do you mean? You're talking to the choir, right? You're talking to the church choir. To me, like I know I've done my due diligence, and like Hanin said, like she knows it's not for them. She is from Gaza. She grew up in Gaza. She lived that reality. She knows the history, and I also looked into it for like my own research. I read about it and looked into the history of how Israel was created, how the Palestinians were displaced. If you look into that, you would know. So this is not for me, right? It is really to raise like awareness to the general public, right? Anyway, yeah.
their friends and families. A lot of it is family friendly too. So yeah, I hope people come and support.
Yeah. So that's a really a good one, a good video of like to of an overview of the events that's been happening in Japan regarding to this issue, right? Because this is close to my community. This is close to my heart, right? So, what better way to do that is than to like actually join them out there. And also, I've been looking into different Palestinian musicians. Some of them are a lot of them are largely diaspora. Like some of them are in Egypt, some of them are in the UK, but most of them are rappers. Most of them are into hip hop, which kind of makes me sad that there are not. I've looked into on the internet and I haven't really seen any like. I don't know if there's any Palestinian metal band, even, right? So I'm a little bit sad about that. That there are not a lot of metalheads out there, or like metal musicians who are Palestinians, who are like from, you know, who grew up in Gaza, who are from Gaza. Maybe there are some diaspora. I don't really know. I haven't really seen on the internet. As far as I know, I looked into YouTube and all the other stuff. Like so far I've never seen any. So yeah, like but I'm really into hip hop, so I wanna look at like if you're up for some to lift our spirits, you know, because music and art have always been the tools of the oppressed, right? So you can really see, like, even though they are displaced, like these artists have still have that kind of like resilience to make art, to make music, to express themselves through music. And I'm so, you know, as a musician, it really hit me so hard. I'm like, holy fuck, look at them go! Like, they're still making art, they're still making music despite the dire situations that the dire situation that they're in. You know, you can never, like, fucking apartheid, fucking Israel cannot suppress Palestinian creativity. So fuck y'alls, you fucking colonizers. Anyway, I want to look at it right now, so to lift our spirits, to just end on a good note, right? I want to show you guys a bunch of Palestinian rappers, and the bars go hard. So like, let's just take a look. So if you're still up for it, if you want to watch with me, yeah, let's go. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, there we go.
شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل من قلب القاهرة بنحيي المقاومة شوفنا الرجالة والنصر عالضفة دخول مفاجئ وسع قلبك في خلق ماتت بس عندها في أرض ما بتتسابش بدم في غزة ما بتتسابش بدمك وعد الرجعة وفي ميعادها وعدك انت يوفي بعدها أنا ابن أرضي وانت ابن توها واسأل كتابك بيحكي عنها تعيش تموت على أرضي مرقد نعيش نموت وامك تتعقد نعيش ندوم ما نخونش المبدأ نعيش نموت دايما في السجدة شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل شمال يمين شوم إسرائيل يمين شمال صم الاحتلال 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 امتى يا عرب هنكون احرار فوق سلمان مش هنلبس نقاب انهي دين بيموت اطفال شهدائنا في الجنه قتلهم في النار ياللي قتلتوا السلام ثقه في الله بتقوي الايمان لا تكفي دموع ولا رفع اعلام فينك يا غيره وفين الجهاد عشنا وشفنا في العرب نفاق وعد الاخره بيقرب وجاي كلم الشجره نكلم سباع خلف الجدار في يهودي جبان شمال يمين شم اسرائيل شمال يمين شم اسرائيل يمين شمال شم الاحتلال يمين شمال شم الاحتلال شمال يمين أم إسرائيل.
Hell yeah, the beat goes hard too. I just love that there are kids out there, like there's the little kids.
قول له انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت مطر دار. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس. ده انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت مطر دار. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس. الحجارة دي نار من ايدي عشان من ارضي انا فلسطيني. الشهادة خوفك وعيدي مش ميت طول ما مت في طيني. مهما تحرق في الحقيقة لا دخانك مش هيعميني. اللي هتقصفه في دقيقة مش هيخدش في تاريخ سنيني. قول له انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت مطر دار. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس. قول له انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت مطر دار. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس. قلبي ميت ارضي بتنبض تذبح امي وانا اصرخ ترفض. زرع دم ولازم تحصد زرع وحشي من غير ما تقصد. قلبي ميت ارضي بتنبض تذبح امي وانا اصرخ ترفض. زرع دم ولازم تحصد زرع وحشي من غير ما تقصد. ده مش ضحيه اللي بتنزفه ده دم اهلي. ده دم اهلي. دي مش قضيه ده حكم وكان واجب من بدري. واجب من بدري. ده مش ضحيه اللي بتنزفه ده دم اهلي. ده دم اهلي. ودي مش قضيه ده حكم وكان واجب من بدري. واجب من بدري. قول له انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت نطر ضرب. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس. قول له انا اتربيت في الحرب وقت كبت نطر ضرب. قول له خافني انا ابن القصر مش بموت لو جيش ودراس.
For those Palestinians is to go into a vast land of Sinai and live into tent cities temporarily wink wink until we build Gaza again and then we invite you back. يعني عبت احنا بقى يعني فاهم. We've seen this movie before.
Oh, this guy has a really good voice
ده بحري من الدم في حلمي اتردم. طب أطفالنا ليه شايلتوها الذنب شايلتوها الذنب عشان بدافع على بلدي. نلاقي مدافع ما بتسمي كلها مخازن وانا سلاحي في جنبي. في طبيعي نتشاهد انا واهلي. اسف يا ابني شايلتك نفسك بدري. اسف يا ابني كان نفسي ابني لك قلبي بيت بس الموت اخدني وانا البلدي ده. ولما تكبر هتفهمني وانت واقف لي بلدك جيش. بس والله ربك ما ناسيك بني لك في الجنة بيت تجري وتلعب فيه. روحك ساكنة الأرض والقدس مأوى ليك وعندك كتير في ظهرك اخواتك موجودين. اخواتك موجودين. اخواتك موجودين. اخواتك موجودين. اخواتك موجودين.
Man, I really like this guy's voice, and it also hits harder because what he's singing about is actually what's happening in his reality, right? Like that's their reality, that his family, his entire community got uprooted. They're all scattered all over the place now, and yeah, I can't imagine having to live that kind of reality. Like, damn. If I if I didn't have music to like, I can only imagine like if I didn't have music to process my trauma, my all of the things that I want to talk about, you know, I don't know what would have happened to me. And I'm glad that these people, they have music too, and it's saving them, right? It's part of their salvation, and I'm really glad that they're able to have that. Arabic is a really beautiful language though. I like listening to Arabic. Oh, this is my favorite guy. Oh, let's go. This is my favorite part of this segment. The segment of this. I like his voice and his flow. Holy shit. Yeah.
فلسطينيا نحب فيك ناكلك لحمة ما فيش كلام بيمرجحنا هنا الدماغ بتسوحنا بلدنا نبرطع فيها نعلي صوت والأرض نبنيها نحطه فيك لو شفناك فيها شباب أمريكا الكل هريها سقطنا فيك وجوز الشحبة الأرض أرض اسمع سحبة قلوبكم مرضى قلوب جحدة المحنة لو يوم تلمحنا ومصيرها تنضف عنية ونعبها لكم غرية تسمع صراخ أمريكانية من الأراضي المصرية مش زيك ناخد المرجة لا اسم احنا اتربنا بنهين في الخصم اللعب كبير وكبير الاسم احنا فلسطين بالروح والجسم قالوا الشمس تطفي النار لا بيحمينا الليل ونهار ما نخاف من عرس يكون غدار لو كانوا تعبين نعزف مسمار يعمل معاك الجلاش قافل عليكوا بكماشة ألست ميري أنا وباشا أموت وما ارفعش قماشة بفك روحي المربوطة يا خصمي يا ابن المربوطة في كل حتة دي محطوطة دي زي بلدك مشطوبة أخدنا من خيرها نصيبكم مخافش لو موت في ايدكم داعمكم مين يصبح سكم أهين وهين سيد سكم أخدنا من خيرها نصيبكم مخافش لو موت في ايدكم داعمكم مين يصبح سكم أهين وهين سيد سكم نا فلسطين يا ابن نحب فيك ناكلك لحمة مفيش كلام بيمرجحنا هنا الدماغ بتسوحنا بلدنا نبرطع فيها نعلي صوت والأرض نبنيها نحطه فيك لو شفناك فيها شباب أمريكا الكل هريها يا
I want to learn the lyrics to this because, you know, you just want to sing along. And also, I want to like have like a, what do you call this? I want to have a metal remix of this. I so want a metal remix of that. So maybe I'll ask like somebody. I will go to the Palestinian events again and ask someone to like teach me how to pronounce some of the words. I like how some of the Arabic words, so I can like do a scream version in the background. So, or maybe I should contact the guy who runs this channel. He's a producer, and he does like a lot of this these events. Like he shoots videos of Palestinian, not only Palestinians, but like he also like in Sudan. I think because he's based in Egypt, so like he does a lot of these events for musicians.
يحكى عنا في دولة بالتزام تدعى ما تتسمى هعمر بس سانش ضي هضرب فيكو رتاتاتاتا موت هنحارب حتى بالحجارة لحد ما هنموت ضيفناكم مرة بس وقت الحرب حان مفكمش راجل بالسلاح انتم حبة دفان انا جاي ابيد فيكو زي ما بتعملوا في غزة هنفتح الحدود بصوتنا وبلحمكم تتغزى طفل منا ضد جيش لوحده بس يكسب تتهدوا بالحجارة وهو وصل دبابة يثبت اقل جندي منا خد منكم 6 في سينا والله لا فتحوا الحدود لنفجر المدينة نرجع للحدوتة خلاص بجد ابدا احكيها مش مهم قافية المهم تركز فيها شوية منبوذين صهاينة احتلوا اراضينا والعرب عملوا طرش لحد ما بدأ يبيدوا فينا ما تستخسرش صوتك يا اسطى الناس هناك بتموت. دول مش دولة دول يهود، وهفضل اقول لاخر نفس القدس لفلسطين. هندعس فيكوا واحد واحد وهتبقوا وشوشكوا تين. ما تستخسرش صوتك يا اسطى الناس هناك بتموت. مش دولة دول يهود، وهفضل اقول لاخر نفس القدس لفلسطين. هندعس فيكوا واحد واحد وهتبقوا وشوشكوا تين. الله اكبر يرسل جندا من السماء، هما بالسلاح واحنا واقفين على الثبات. مش هتحرك خطوة برضه مهما بيدوا فينا. الناس مش لاقية اكل برضه لسه ماسكين فيها. كمان العرس بتاعهم قالك ارهاب. مين اللي خان القدس لينا من زمان؟ مش بنحرفين كلامنا مظبوط.
It's more old school kind of vibe.
ونقول تحرير كمان.
Old school rap.
علمك ونقول تحرير كمان. فلسطين عرب داخلين من غير سلاح.
Hell yeah.
لعبة تفلت بزازات. هنقرا الفاتحة علمك ونقول تحرير كمان. فلسطين عرب داخلين من غير سلاح. اسراقوا جبنا فشخ لعبة تفلت بزازات. اسراقوا جبنا فشخ لعبة تفلت بزازات. هنقرا الفاتحة علمك ونقول تحرير كمان. الله اكبر يرسل جندا من السماء، هما بالسلاح واحنا واقفين على الثبات. مش هتحرك خطوة برضه مهما بيدوا فينا. الناس مش لاقية اكل برضه لسه ماسكين فيها.
Man, I really love revolutionary music. It's like my vibe. Holy fuck.
اسمع أرض كنعان يا زميلي. هنا أرض كنعان. Regardless احنا فين. This is a message for all the Arabs in the world. In case you don't know it, you have to know it right now. ما اسمهاش تل أبيب، أصل المحتل غريب. لم ولن يعيش في يافا ولا في جلباب أبيه. الشيخ مونس أولى بيه. دي مش تل أبيب وده مش تل أبيك. دي الخريطة وده التاريخ. هناك تلاقي بير السبع وده الخليل. ودي غزة أهلا بيك في فلسطين. أنا من أريحة شرق القدس بيت المؤمنين. النصرة بلد العذراء دي نابلس ودي جنين.
Oh, I love that.
شاهد على اللي حصل من نقب لحدود صفد. شمال جنوب وسط واحنا مش قليلين. ده وهم حطوه في راسك. ربك موجود صمد. رملة في بيت جبريل فجأة نقوم منفجرين. أهلا بيك في فلسطين أرض كل العالمين. بيت شمس المؤمنين بكل لغات أهل الأرض زي ما قال تميم. وقف جاك والصقلاب والبشناق والتتار وأهل الله والهلاك والفقراء والملاك. فيها كل من وطئ الثرى.
I like that Arabic
بفبرك
melody.
التاريخ يا ريته كان قرا. يا ريته ساكن في الجغرافيا. لا ده بيته كان بره. رميته مقبره تدفنوا فيها. انتوا اعتديتوا كم مره. بيته من ورا انتوا حقيقه مزوره. مش اشكالون دي عسقلان ودي بيسان. حدوته من زمان من عند نوح وسام لابراهيم عليه السلام. دي حكايه الانسان. لساني عربي كان عادي خرطي انساني. اسف اني بغني واخواتي بتعاني ضد ركوب الموجه. بس دي اقل حاجه قدامي ان انشر لاولاد جيلي وعي ولو في اغاني. الخريطه اللي في زماني كي ووردز للحقيقه والمعاني. ومش هداري لا معاني. مش هداري لا معاني. يو بكلمك من مصر أم الدنيا بنت النيل. فأنت فاهم أنا أبقى مين. مش هتفرق
Wow, it's so poetic. Daughter of Nile.
دي في نيلي ده جوجل كلمة يري ده. وبرغم الدمار الورد يعيش الوقت يعيد. جوجل عبد وهاب مسيري وإدوارد سعيد. في حاجة اسمها مقاومة وحاجة اسمها إرهاب. في فرق ما بين صهيوني غير يهودي ابن كتاب. الأرض أرض الله أساسها الجيرة والسلام. وفي كره وفي تنام.
Wow, I really like that.
وفي انتقام. الأرض أرض الله أساسها الجيرة والسلام.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Hell yeah.
ما في وقته بيفعل ويقول ده قدر وبيحصل. بس لازم نقول بس لازم نفوق. لازم ندوس ايد واحدة بنكون ونسمع الكون. ندعي البلد ده يروح والشجر ذنبه ازاي فيها وقت والناس دي بتموت. بتموت بيفعل ويقول ده قدر وبيحصل بس لازم نفوق لازم نفوق لازم ندوس دي واحدة بنكون
I love this
نسمع
voice.
الكون ندعي ان البلاء ده يروح والشجر ذنبه وازاي فيها وقت والناس دي بتموت مين كان السبب في كل حد اتقتل ومين اللي حاسب على المذبحة دي ومصيرها يتاخد حقها بس اللي ليها يفضل عندها واللي ليه حاجة ياخدها ويتكل واللي ليه حاجة يقولها الملا وان شاء الله الظلم ده انتهى والحق ابتدى والنصر قريب قفل الماء داخل وفي دي سلاحي وثابت هنتبارز
let's
عارف
go.
انك تكسب هاجس ضاري في ظهره وساند الله الحارس قالت على قلوبنا تلاقي ولساني سلاحي وقاتل وعلى حق بس احنا نفوق كل العرب عامله بتزوم كله تأيد ضد مجهول وكل الكلام ده هو مكتوب
That's so
كل البلد ده
hard.
هيزوم والدريا غلوه مش هياخدوه غلوه كانهم مجوش وكل مين اللي حق ياخدوه طب ساكت ليه ومتحرك دول هدوا البيت انت بتتفرج انت تواجه ولا بتتهرج 73 هتتسنطر احنا كعرب مش بنقرج ساكت ليه ومتحرك دول هدوا البيت وانت بتتفرج انت تواجه ولا بتتهرج 73 هتتسنطر احنا كعرب مش بنقرج ولا
That was hard bars. Woo! I love these kids. Oh man.
كوفي 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 هموت شايف ماسك سلاحي هقتل كل انا اسلامي
Oh, this child, let's go.
كوفي 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 فكرة تاخد مني ارضي وانا بحارب بكل حياتي اقصى بلدي وصل لي فيها اطفال تموت وعمري ما نسيها
Damn. The beat though.
اسكندراني مش مسامح فيها دمي في الوطن عدى موت ومش هسامح فيها شهدوا بدم هنا حارب ليها محتاجين جيوش تجرب كل محتاجين اطفال تعيش الظلم محتاجين سلاح والكل انتوا ناس شالين واحنا حرسا في تاريخ عظيم يحكي بجد مفتاح بيضرب في قلوب العبد بتموت اكتر من اسلامي عمرك ما تاخد منه ارض وما تعمل شيء كده في بلده عشان هيجي اليوم وتهرب منه هتل في الطول وانا في مكان انا من جواي بوعي عدواني افكار امريكا بتصدعني في قوامي
Look at this kid though.
قتل فيك انا قتل فيك مش تشبيه ما نغنيش مرحب بيك بولادي سيك قتل فيك انا قتل فيك اخ كبير لي فلسطين مش تشبيه ما نغنيش مرحب بيك بولادي سيك قتل فيك انا قتل فيك اخ كبير لي فلسطين بندافع من اجل البلد بنحارب من اجل زمن سهجوني بيتحدى البلد عايز يسرق ارضي واهلها سفاحين مغيبين قتالين اكلين مش ظالمين بنحارب بشهاده رب العالمين قتل فيك درب موت ما تخليش سهجوني خسيس بضرب ما بجليش بنحارب بالوحده بنتعلم مفيش مدارس احنا بنتألم عرب في ايد واحده بتتكلم تحت الارض انا قتل فيك فوق الارض انا كسر فيك طفل جميل حلمه زهيد تكسر قلبه وتجرح فيه موت تشهيد بلده وارضه بتشهد بيه بنام وبنصحى بنحلم بيه تفكير الغام بنفكر فيك تحليم مفاد ما بتفكر فيك فيش تشبيه ما نغنيش مرحب بيك بولاد السيك قتل فيك انا قتل فيك اخ كبير لي فلسطين فيش تشبيه ما نغنيش مرحب بيك بولاد السيك قتل فيك انا قتل فيك اخ كبير لي فلسطين
Hell yeah! I'm so happy seeing children like that.
بيتو صاحبي اي حد من اسكندريه جامد فاهم كانت اباده من اللي شفت مالي داسمه كل يوم ضحاياكم وسكتنا لا مالوش لازمه ناس تقول بلحق ترند ده هديه يهبل لو مسكت جندي في ايدي وربي مش هتكفي ربي مش نفاق وربي فرصه في ايدي مش هتاخر اسمي كان عدو شوف الناس ده يتبخر شعب كله جاهز فدا فلسطين وفدا كل البلاد دي عارفه شعب مصر لا مش 15 سنه وقلبي اتقسم اللي شفته منكم لو الوقت اسف كل الاسف انسى يكون ما بينكم حمامه السلام تتبع تتنكح حيوان في صواريخ بتنزل تنزف اطفال كاني ترجل منكم ولا اقول لك هما الكسبانين مفيش حد فيهم ميت الا ورافع اليمين، يستشهد وروح لربه الا احسن من الجميع، محدش فيهم ميت لا في الجنه عايشين. وربك جايز انا من السلاح للصوت، وافضل واقف عارف اللي جاي يموت، وتفضل رجلي ثابته طول ما انا على الحق. ربك هينصرنا يا ابن ادم اوعى تتوه، وربك مش نفاق عارف لو رحت اموت، بس خد 2 3 معايا من جيش اليهود، اخواتنا كل يوم بيروحوا في ايديهم قالب، ونقف في ايدينا تطوع اول واحد تكون موجوده. الله اكبر كلمه بس تلعب جيش، الله اكبر ولا حتى لو خسرت، الله اكبر ربنا معانا وهتنسى، الله اكبر حق امام سارقين العالم والقلم والارض وافكار الناس، زارعين الغابه والغلب والغنم تسمع الكلام، عايزين الجلب بجلب تحدي في تنكش الاحداث، سامعين ركابكم من هنا بتخبط كأنه سارقين العالم والقلم والارض وافكار الناس، زارعين الغابه والغلب والغنم تسمع الكلام، عايزين الجلب بجلب تحدي في تنكش الاحداث، سامعين ركابكم من هنا بتخبط كأنه له ازازه. الله اكبر كلمه بس ترعب جيش، الله اكبر ربنا معانا وتنسى، الله اكبر ولا حتى لو خسرت، الله اكبر حق مهما زدته.
Hell yeah. They all have like their distinct flows. I really love that.
كم طفل باري شاف الطريق بس ملحقش انه يمشي، وسط العدوان احلام كتير، وسط العدوان احلام كتير بتختفي. كم طفل باري شاف الطريق بس ملحقش انه يمشي، وسط العدوان احلام كتير، وسط العدوان احلام كتير بتختفي. بنسابق الزمن نجري في الايام، بنودع اخوات بنودع احلام، اجاب الكلام ما كانت نساها، لولا الاسى ما كانت اذاها. الله يكون في العون الله يكون في العون، أمة من نفس الدم أمة من نفس اللون، سهل بينا وصول ما فيش بينا قيود، نمنا صحينا لقينا حدود. مين اللي خان مين اللي باع، مين اللي طبع بينهم طبعا، والميدان فيه شهداء والاطفال فيه اشتاق، ما فيش دم فيش احساس.
This type of singing rap kind of vibe.
كم طفل باري شاف الطريق بس ملحقش انه يمشي، وسط العدوان احلام كتير، وسط العدوان احلام كتير بتختفي. الله يكون في العون ربي يعين امتي، والمره دي جايه لما ادعمش فلسطين، لغه عبريه بدون تنقيط اكيد مش فاهمين، فترجمت ليه كان اختك شرق مصر ايه. ارضنا بالنسبه لنا عرض وانت بالنسبه لنا عرض، واحنا المحنه بتقوينا القدس حره في ديننا فرض، ادعوا جوجكم بينا يزيد وتعدوا 100 مليون نفر، وجوجكم اثبت ان ديننا حق من المكتوب مفيش مفر، مفيش هدنه مع العرب، في فرعون عند الهراب، في ملك للاسلام تبيد احلام سيون خراب، فيش سلاح موجود زلات، الضعيف يصطاد اطفال مبدا كنتوا اللي كان غلط، عشان زيك زي المرور.
Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. I wanna watch one more. I really like this other kid. He's like, I think he's only 14 now, but he did this made this video of like he has this music video of him of his song. I think it's MC Abdul. So this kid, I think, what was his song again? There are some reaction stuff, but I want to look at the original one. This one, Shouting at the Wall. I like this one. See, he's just a baby.
I'm exhausted. Last night I couldn't sleep, but when I did, I could hear bombs in my dreams. Nightmare situation. How could they be so evil, making martyrs out of children and innocent people? We expect the bombs, not knowing where next. Huddle in the corner of my room, trying to protect my little brother as the building shakes like it's possessed. But nothing stronger than the will of the oppressed.
Hell yeah!
I come back with my lyrics and rhymes, living the times, trying to break the Palestinian minds. What's hiding in the clouds, hanging over my head? My dad risks his life outside to buy bread. The fourth war in my 12th year. At this stage I'm numb, though I haven't feel scared. There's nothing I can do in this case to stay safe. I'm brave, even though this house could be in my grave. I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners.
Can you imagine like a child just having to think about their death at that young age? Like it's real though. Like some of them, like, yeah, they could be, like, their house could be air-stricken, and then they could die there, under the rubble. And that's the situation that they're in. It's just another day in Gaza.
Living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation.
Hell yeah.
I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation. Mothers mourn, fighting with grief. White sheets covered by his dad lie on the streets. Buildings turn to ash, but my mind is made of steel. So it doesn't take much for me to heal. Won't lose the will to live or lose our minds. My auntie lost her home, so she lost her life. But she's still alive, but traumatized by the bombs that flew in and dropped that night. My sister couldn't sleep, tried to stop her cries. I said it was fireworks, I was telling her lies.
Oh my God.
Where's the compassion? This is heartless. It's like they want us all living in darkness. Cutting off water and electricity for hours. They're knocking towers, but that's not knocking the power that I have in my pen. When I'm writing, I'm unstoppable.
Hell yeah.
The microphone is the only escape possible.
Big relate.
That's the way that I can speak my mind. I wonder how does the fighter pilot sleep at night, knowing he can turn the city upside down all of a sudden, slaughtering families with the push of a button. I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation. I want freedom for the population. 2 million prisoners living in this location, shouting at the wall, but nothing is ever changing. That's life under an occupation.
Man. Imagine having to contemplate your entire life, and you're just like, I think he's only 10. Because I'm not sure if he's 12 now or he's 14 now, but this was 2 years ago. So he could have been 10 or 12. Like, what the fuck, man? This is fucked up, you know? And also, props to him for teaching himself English. Like, holy shit, can you imagine? He learned how to speak English by listening to songs. And just like basic, you know. Like, if there's a will, there's a way. And he has a very, very strong will. And I am so like inspired by these types of musicians. By this kid. I am inspired by this kid. Because like I have all the access in the world, you know? Like I can easily like write a song. Like if I want to, I would be able to like just ask my producers to like, hey, like create me something like this, and then like, but look at that, like he is so, his verses are so well thought of. Like man, it's so sincere, and it's just like he's just narrating his life, and I just love, I like that you know, that pureness in that. I just, oh my god, this kid needs to be protected, and I'm so glad that he managed to get out of Gaza, although he didn't, you know, his heart is in Gaza, but he got signed to a label, and he's in LA now, which is good that he can help his family get out of that bad situation. But they're not, you know what, like they don't they're not supposed to be, you know, they're not supposed to leave anyway. But they have to because they're gonna die there. And I that's fucked up. Alright, one more, what was that? Yeah, I wanna look at the free verse that he did. He's using cleaning out the
Palestine's
sun.
been occupied for decades, but a home for centuries. This land is generations of my family's memories. To plant, grow, and nurture the symbol of peace. The olive trees guaranteed that our people could eat. Living with limitations, pushed down by the occupation. Wanna see the pain? Take a look at the people's faces. Imagine being kicked out of the only house you ever known. We're praying for our souls while they're preying on our homes.
Yeah.
It's not easy to put this into words. Looking at my baby sister, is this something she deserves? Growing up in a world where she's not treated the same. Denied the right to live free because of where she came. They wanna occupy this land, won't let them occupy my mind. I stay occupied aside as I write about my life. Because my only mission is to make people listen. This one's for Shashara, hoping it can make a difference. Cause the same thing happened in 48. My grandparents got evicted and forced to move away to the refugee.
Let me just stop there. See, he knows his history. He knows what happened in 1948, the ethnic cleansing of 48. He's talking about his grandparents being ethnic, like his being dispossessed, being what do you call it? Being displaced. A lot of people got displaced in 1948. He knows his history. This kid knows what's up. He knows. He understands. I think everybody in Gaza knows and understands. They live that reality for 75 years. So, but see, the kind of like this kid is so intelligent.
Can but Gaza, no, nothing has changed. They can never return, so that's where I am today. Getting calls from cousins to see if I am alive. This year is not fireworks that are lighting the sky. We're trying to celebrate an Eid and keep the faith. I guess you could say it's how memories are made. Palestine.
Yeah. It's depressing. But you know, like he's really just writing about his life and his experiences and how like everyone in his family is traumatized, but he's somehow still like, you know, well adjusted. It's amazing to see that kind of resilience. And I hate to have to like, you know, rely, like I hate that we have to like, oh, they're so resilient that they shouldn't be happening to them in the first place. You know, it's so fucked up that they have to be resilient because things just kept on happening to them. Like, I don't, you know, like I don't like that idea that, oh, we you know, like, yes, yeah, he has to be, and he doesn't have to be, but he has to be. He shouldn't have to, but he has to. Like, a child like that should be, every child should deserve to be safe, to feel safe, to like, you know, being able to explore their creativity. Like, even then, even under the face of oppression, this kid he was able to explore music. He found his calling. And he can write music. Despite everything, you cannot suppress creativity. Even under these conditions, you cannot suppress human creativity. And this kid is a testament to that. And I feel so like, whoa, you know? Like, it's inspiring. As a musician, like, hey, what the fuck? Man, what have I been doing with my entire life? Like, shit, man. This kid is already showing that creativity, that talent. Man. So every time I look at, like, I listen to Palestinian music or music created by Palestinian musicians, I just like, nah, man, like it hits different. It just doesn't hit the same with like, you know, they're fucking stupid shit like Tom McDonald, like that guy who's like the white guy who's like rapping, the MAGA rapper. It's just like, the fuck? Hip hop is not for you. Hip hop is the tool of the oppressed. Yeah, like it doesn't. No, you're just miming. You're not. He doesn't have the flow. He's just you're a fucking clown, bitch. Yeah, that kid doesn't sound depressed to me. More like, yeah, exactly. Like, he is resilient. He said like my aunt is depressed. My aunt is like traumatized by all the things that's happening to us. But you know what? I gotta stay like, you know, gotta stay strong for my family, and I can heal. Like, I can heal in, you know, in no time. It's amazing. Like, it's like we gotta, you know, like we gotta look into like how like he is turning his negative situation into like he is channeling all of that into music, and that's how it inspires me to do the same, because that's how I try to process my emotions, is to just put it into music. Dropping bars and strong words can feel liberating. Exactly. Like, not only does his verse, like, you know, have bars, they're also very incredibly like honestly written. Like, it's so good. I love it. I don't know a single Tom McDonald fan. Everyone that would be into him can't get over how bad he sounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know anyone either. Like, but like, you know what I mean? Like those weirdos, they try to like get into rap, but no. The origin of rap, it's for the oppressed. Like, it has evolved over time, but originally, you know. Music is a very universal form of communication. Exactly. That's why, like, even though I'm not, like, I can't rap for shit, right? But when I listen to Palestinian rappers, it's just like, yo, what the fuck? This goes hard. Holy shit. I appreciate that. I appreciate their craft, what they do. Mana, please check out the song Raijin. It's made by so many people and has so many yeah, I actually saw that yesterday, but I couldn't look at the videos because the video itself is, I don't know, I don't want to look at violent scenes. I don't want to look at like dying people. Rap is historically rooted in exactly. Like I said, like, music and art have always been the tools of the oppressed. So colonizers trying to post like, oh no, that doesn't hit the same. That's why we say like also like the right can't meme. It's the same principle. Music is just one of the many facets of liberation, and it's also just as powerful. Exactly, like that's why like as a musician, I'm using my platform to not only like, you know, people are just like, oh, just stick to music. No, fuck you. What do you mean stick to music? Yeah, exactly. This is why I'm using my platform, because my music is reflective of me as a person, of what I stand for. If you don't understand, fuck off, you know? Like, some of the people in the comments, really, when I was making posts about like my full support of Palestine, we're just like, oh, if you did your research, yeah, bitch, I did. That's why this is my conclusion. Like, there's this I don't know, like it's so funny. Like, there's this one long-term member of the channel. They like I said, this Zionist one, and like I just want to rub it in their face. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm putting even more highlight to like Palestinians now. With this stream. Suck my dick, bitch. Eat a bag of dicks, Zionists. I don't really give a fuck at this moment. Like, I'm not beholden to any corporations. Like, I I am free to like, to say whatever I want. So I'm using my platform to do that. So, yeah. I cannot stand people having to tell musicians that, oh, you shouldn't be talking about anything like politics, whatever. Especially if you're like in extreme music. Like it's a subculture of like, we are the metal and hardcore genre are supposedly like a subculture against like to be against to be anti-establishment, right? So why are you like telling us to be like, oh, don't be political? Fuck off. You're clearly like a consumer. You're clearly just consuming music. You're not creating it. You just want to consume. You've like, yeah, for you, musicians are just something that you would consume. Yeah, like music is just something that you consume. And that's like really like, that's sad. Like, you can really tell that people have never created anything relevant or anything like significant in their lives when they just say that. Because you just see musicians as the purveyors of the things that you consume. But no. Like, we pour our hearts into what we do. The fuck do you mean? So in the same way, like, I don't want my work to be separate from me. Like some of them, oh, you can just separate the music from the musician. No, fuck you. No, I don't subscribe to that shit. I am what I make, right? Like, my music is reflective of what I do, of who I am as a person. You cannot separate me from my music. So that's what I'm saying. That so if you don't agree with what I stand for, I mean, there's so many thousands of other musicians out there. You can just go there. But for me, I'm very upfront with what I stand for, what I believe in, what I'm about, So, nah, exactly. Do not divorce me from my own music, for my own work. Cause what the fuck is that? Like, why? Like, it's supposed to be a holistic thing. Like, when I look into music with musicians, I look into like, what are they standing for? As people, what are they as people? That's why, like, when shitty like musicians, even though they're good, I don't support them because I don't agree with what they stand for. And I consume in a way, like, I don't just mindlessly consume. I consume as an artist as well, as a musician as well. So I curate what I consume. Like, I'm very careful with that. So don't divorce Mana from her music. They are happily married. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. I think the art should talk about the artist, not the other way around, like J.K. Rowling. Exactly. Enlightened centrists, do your research when they support every social movement and resistance. In history, except the ongoing one. Exactly. I don't understand, like, I don't know, like, a few years from now, I know the history is gonna vindicate Palestine. I know that I'm standing on the right side of history. They're gonna talk about Israel the way that they talk about South African apartheid, the way they talk about Rhodesia. So, no. Like, I know that there are still some supporters of what happened in the apartheid now, but they're not popular. It's not the popular opinion anymore. So it will shift. Cause, but right now we like what I seen in Second Thought video. He said that it may seem that evil has won right now, right? But the thing is, evil will collapse in its own humanity. It's like its own inhumanity will be its own destruction. So now that they're going mask off, let them. Okay. Yeah, post your war crimes on TikTok. Let the world know how much of a genocidal freak you are. You know what I mean? Let the world see them for who they are. I personally like when people have their convictions and champion them. Even if I disagree with them, it's better to know both sides. Even better to be able to argue for both, aka to understand. It depends. Like, I don't really like to both sides shit. Like, especially like right now, there is no both sides to this because it's a one-sided thing. One group is clearly committing ethnic cleansing onto another group of people. There is no both sides to that. Yes, we could both sides other things, like maybe we could even both sides Russia and Ukraine, but I don't think there is a both sides to this one. I disagree with that because there is no both sides in genocide. But yeah, that's just me. Okay, so like come up with your own conclusion, but that's how I interpret and how I see it based on data, based on the death toll that's happening right now. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, imps, it's already 11 o'clock, 11:30 right now, and I just did this stream on a whim. I'm so thankful to everyone who came by and just hung out for a bit and then caught up with me and stuff and did the listening party, the short listening party with me, highlighting Palestinian musicians. Next time maybe I would do an actual like listening party with all like the new Palestinian music that I just discovered recently. I just want to do that because I want to be very visible about my support of Palestine. I'm not just like, like maybe, we should not be for war, but like, that's so vague. No. I am for Palestine. Like, make no mistake. I am on the side of the Palestinians. Okay? So I do not want to be vague about that. I want more visibility for the Palestinian cause, and I'm gonna use my platform whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, fuck off. That's what we do here. Like, it really, for me, I'm very strong in my convictions, and I've always have been. And all of you who have been with me since 2021, you all know what I'm about. So if you're new here, this is who I am. If you don't like it, fuck off. So anyway, it was just me trying to like show you guys what I've been doing or share with you what I have, like my thoughts. Although very, very, very disjointed, I'm still trying to process a lot of information and a lot of like my, the things that I've seen, that I've heard, for the stories that I've heard from the events that I've been to, So yeah, just a heads up. Hopefully I will be able to like finish one of my recordings. So maybe I will be able to release my another my original song at the end of the month, hopefully. And yeah, I'll see you by then. Like, I think on the 16th of March as well, I will have a collab with Zephy, Katie, and Nia, Christian, Mono, and June. I think we're gonna play Lethal Company. So hopefully, yeah, y'all can check me out and fail in that game. I don't know how to play Lethal Company yet, but yeah, we are gonna play. I'm gonna play with my friends. Yeah, as a part of my one of my collabs. Yeah. Never stop talking about Palestine. Yeah, exactly. I'm once again, I'm very, 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 very thankful for the imps who are with me and, you know, who are very sympathetic of the Palestinian cause. And y'all's know. you're already pro-Palestinian anyway. But yeah, thank you for supporting my channel and my music and always looping me on Spotify. I really, really appreciate all of you guys. And for those who bought the merch, holy fuck. We had a lot of like orders. We didn't expect that. The merch sales were like I think like 4 times the amount of like the projected sales. So it's just like holy shit. I didn't know that there was so much demand for mono merch. And I'm so glad that I could donate some of it, you know, half of my cut to a really, really important cause. So yeah. And also yes, BDS, boycott, divest, sanction, right? So look it up. So I can't explain to you. I have to get off now. It's already really late. But look up BDS online, and hopefully you could in your own way be able to partake. Like, you don't have to do everything, just do what you can. Okay, like, I'm not asking people to like, oh, you should be able to do this, you should be doing this, blah 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 blah. Do what you can on your own terms. Okay, like, I'm not telling you what to do. But if you're here to antagonize me, of course, you know, I'm gonna fight you. But yeah, I don't want to entertain arguments from Zionists. That's what I'm all saying. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Imps. Hopefully I'll be able to release new music soon. That's why I'm gonna be sleeping tonight early, so that I can do the recording tomorrow. So I'll be doing that. Yes. So yeah, thank you so much for being here with me today. And yeah, nice chatting with y'all. And I'll see you all soon. Later, motherfuckers. BDS, BDS, BDS. Oh yeah, and thank you to those who donated to the PCRF, and also for those who signed the petition. I really, really appreciate you all. Thank you. Can I get a free Palestine in the chat? Hell yeah, let's go. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, chat. Thank you so much, everyone. Free Palestine.